What's up, guys? Welcome to Diabetes Talk. I'm your host, Charlie O'Connell. We are broadcasting live and direct right here from New Haven, Connecticut in the GlucoseZone studio. I want to do a huge shout out to everyone who just joined us for that awesome chair-based workout. I am feeling pumped up. Got several people already on the line. I want to do a big shout out to Dottie and Claudette. You guys just did a great job with that workout. I know how hard you've been working, okay? And I really appreciate you guys being here tonight with me. Jeanette is in the house too. Guys, Jeanette has been sharing with us on Facebook her journey, and it is so inspiring to see, Jeanette, you achieving success and through hard work, okay? And at some point, guys, something happens inside of you where instead of running away from the hard work becomes something incredibly therapeutic. It becomes something that you embrace, okay? And some people call it the grind. Other people call it hustle. Other people call it ambition, desire, whatever you want to call it. When a fire gets lit inside of you, all of a sudden that hard work becomes something that you crave. And I know, Jeanette, that fire has become lit inside of you because I can see in your posts how your body, your mind, your attitude is starting to transform. So you're doing a great job, and I want you to keep it up, okay? Marisol has joined us here on Facebook, and I want to say what's up to everybody on Instagram. I'm really looking forward to tonight's topic, which is 7 ways to outsmart your diabetes. Now, we had a great talk on Tuesday night, and there were a lot of things came up out of that talk. And what the topic of last Tuesday's diabetes talk was don't let diabetes get you down. So today's talk, right, is about outsmarting your diabetes. Today's talk is about very practical, proactive steps that you can take to maneuver yourself into a position to be winning the fight against diabetes. And that fight against diabetes is different for everybody. For me, winning the fight against diabetes means emotionally, intellectually, physically, and spiritually showing up every day with a positive attitude and taking my diabetes as it comes, okay? And not getting, basically not letting diabetes get me down, because as a person living with type 1, I know that diabetes, there's nothing I can do to get rid of my diabetes, but there is plenty that I can do to be in control of my diabetes, and there's plenty that I can do to make sure that diabetes is not interfering in any other part of my life. Now, that might be different for you. Your goal might be to reduce the amount of medications you're taking, or maybe completely reverse your condition. And we've had several people share with us on GlucoseZone that they have actually reversed their diabetes. They have taken their A1C from the 6s down into the 4s, okay? And it's such an inspiration to hear people say that. Wherever you are in your diabetes journey, I just want you to stay focused and keep your eye on the prize, all right? And tonight's topic is about making sure that you are aware of the things that you need to do to be one step ahead of diabetes, all right? So, and of course, we're going to answer all of your questions. So, the first thing, guys, to outsmarting your diabetes, and I do want to do a shout out actually to Lorianne, our CDE, who, guys, for all of these topics that we do with Diabetes Talk, our resident CDE, Lorianne, she does an amazing job of really laying out the topic, the subjects, and the key points, okay? So this is key point number 1, coming directly from one of the best in the business, is keep a healthy and strong heart. There is an enormous correlation between uncontrolled diabetes and heart disease and cardiovascular complications. So the more that you can keep your heart healthy, the stronger your cardiovascular condition can be, the better your diabetes outcomes are going to be. It is just as simple as that. And so how do we do that? How do we keep our heart strong? Well, the first thing is, guys, exercising frequently, okay? Nothing improves your cardiovascular health more than daily and consistent moderate aerobic activity. So that actual principle has been the guiding principle for all of our workouts in GlucoseZone. Every workout we do follows a principle of trying to provide you with daily, consistent, moderate aerobic, either strength training or body weight exercises, okay? And you want to be doing that for at least 150 minutes a week. And what that means is 30 minutes a day, okay? Now, the next part of that, in terms of heart health specifically, is eating a healthy diet of unprocessed foods. And that brings up, guys, something actually that came up in the news today, which is shocking, but it's definitely a trend that I think is going to start to now take over the world. And basically, the country of Chile banned Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes from its grocery stores. And what that represents is Chile has taken a very, very bold leadership approach in terms of acknowledging that sugar and highly processed foods are a public health risk. And Chile has taken the step of actually taking those things off of the shelf, all right? Now, the reason why they did that is because Chile acknowledged the reality that over 75% of their adult population was obese, okay? And the childhood obesity was at the same, if not higher rate, okay? And there's no question about it, okay? There's a direct correlation between the consumption of processed sugar and obesity. So Chile took the step of removing some forms of processed sugar from the shelves. What I'm asking you to do is I want you to take the step of removing processed sugar from your food choices. Okay? Now, so eating a healthy diet of unprocessed foods, what that basically means is fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, with an emphasis on green vegetables, all right? And uncooked vegetables. That's another big thing. If possible, if you're having carrots, have them raw, uncooked carrots, okay? Raw, uncooked broccoli. Things like that make an enormous difference. All right. Now, okay, so we got a great question. Let me stop right there because it's relevant to what we were just talking about. And Singa from Nepal has asked us this question. Singa, thank you for joining us tonight. So Singa says, what sort of GlucoseZone exercises help control LDL, total cholesterol, and triglycerides? And what food habits are helpful? All right, this is a fantastic, such an important question. So the GlucoseZone exercise programs that impact triglycerides, LDL, and cholesterol are all of our programming that is high repetition, aerobic based. Okay? If you're looking for a GlucoseZone workout and you specifically want to impact your triglyceride levels and your cholesterol, you want to be searching for workout routines that are high repetition, total body if possible, okay? And basically designed to put you in an aerobic state for the majority of the workout. Now, from a diet perspective, what you want to combine with those workouts is green juicing. That's number one, okay? And generally speaking, eliminating out of your diet the consumption of unnecessary carbohydrate, because carbohydrates, overconsumption of carbohydrate is what leads to high triglyceride levels, right? And guys, remember, it's very important to understand what is a triglyceride. Triglyceride is a glucose molecule that has been deposited into your fat tissue. So, and you've heard me say the parking lot analogy before. So in your muscle parking lot and in your liver parking lot, glucose is stored as glycogen. In your fat parking lot, glucose is converted into a triglyceride and stored into your adipocyte tissue. Okay, it is very, very important, guys, that you understand that relationship. And it's a great, great question. All right. The last part of keeping a healthy, strong heart is cutting back on the amount of food that you're eating if you need to lose weight. And so portion control is one of the hardest things, guys. I want to give you a suggestion. If you like to eat food, which you're like me, you like to eat food, and you like to eat a lot of food, you have to find the foods that you can eat a lot of that are low in calories. And I'm going to give you an example for me, myself personally, and then I'm going to give you another example. So I really enjoy eating a lot, but anytime I eat a meal, I make sure that the majority, the actual content, is made up mostly of dark green leafy vegetables and other cruciferous vegetables. Okay, so crunchy vegetables where I eat. If you saw me eat here, guys, at GlucoseZone, you see I have a big, giant salad that's filled with all kinds of things. It's very, very satisfying, but it's ultimately lower in calories. Now, another example is my wife. My wife is incredibly fit, very thin, and beautiful. She likes to eat a lot also, and what she really focuses in on is broccoli. So my wife will go run 6 or 7 miles for her workout, then she comes home and she'll eat like literally a bowl of broccoli, okay? And it's very satisfying to her. It feeds that whole need to fill your body, okay? But you're filling your body with foods and nutrients that are very, very low in calories and loaded with vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. So that's a kind of practical way to outsmart your diabetes and basically to reduce the amount of calories you're eating without actually reducing the quantity of food that you're eating. All right. The next thing, okay, is engage in stress-reducing habits to lift your mood and improve your mindset, okay? And I'm going to give you 3 examples of ways to improve your mindset. The first one is finding a fitness hobby, something that you enjoy. Now, if you love doing GlucoseZone workouts and that's a stress reducer for you, that's awesome. And I want you to keep doing that. But there are lots of other activities that you can become very passionate about that can do wonders for stress relief. So that might be walking with friends. That might be walking with your dog. Maybe you're like me, maybe you like to play golf. Find an activity that's a hobby, okay, that you enjoy, that is a fitness activity based, that can be a stress reliever for you, okay? The next thing is, don't be shy with getting therapy. If you have post-traumatic stress syndrome, if you've gone through something hard in your life, okay, don't judge yourself and basically shy away from therapy. Therapy is an amazing, wonderful thing that can help you let go of things that are stressing you out. All right? The next thing, what's worked best for me for stress relief is helping other people. Okay? It is impossible to be self-obsessed and self-depressed if you are focused on helping other people with their problems. And I know that's a total paradox, but I guarantee you, if you are feeling upset about your life condition and you're feeling stressed out, go volunteer at a soup kitchen. Go down to your church. Volunteer. Go to your whatever. Go volunteer your time and help somebody else. I guarantee you you will feel better about yourself and have less stress in your life. All right? So engaging in stress-reducing habits will have a major, major impact on your mood. All right. That's tip number 2 for outsmarting your diabetes. Tip number 3, take care of your feet at the beginning and the end of the day. Okay? Use a mirror. If you have flexibility issues that limits your ability to see your feet, okay? Use a mirror. But the point is that for people living with diabetes, foot care is basically one of the most important aspects of self-care. And your feet are like the warning signal for your diabetes health. It is so important that you are conscious of what's going on with your feet, that you are conscious of any cuts or sores or dryness that you're experiencing with your feet, okay? And if you need to, make an appointment with a podiatrist, okay? And generally speaking, you should see a podiatrist either way. Whether you have foot issues or not, you should definitely see a podiatrist. I'm going to give you an example why. I recently went and saw a podiatrist. The first thing that the podiatrist did when I told her I had diabetes was she did a sensitivity test, right? Where she was like, you know what? I'm going to test the sensitivity of your feet, because that is a huge indication of your diabetic health, whether you are at risk or already suffering from neuropathy, okay? The other thing is diabetic sores on the foot are the number one indicator for likelihood of amputation. And that's real talk, okay? You need to be extremely, urgently careful with your feet if you have any type of sore that is not healing, because that is the number one indicator of the need for amputation. Now, the other thing is, and this is kind of cool, there's a whole bunch of technology coming out, and if you guys saw me, I was in Las Vegas recently on a panel about health at CES, and there's technology that's now coming out to monitor your feet. And one of the coolest pieces of technology that I've come across is a technology that monitors the temperature of your feet. And the temperature of your feet is an indication of the health of your feet. And there are actual shoe inserts, so like literally like a Dr. Scholl's insert that can monitor the temperature of your feet. And if the temperature of your feet crosses over a certain threshold, that's an indication of infection or looming infection, okay? And that can literally save your foot. So ultimately, guys, taking care of your feet is one of the most important things that you can do for outsmarting your diabetes, all right? All right, now, we've got a comment, and I'm happy to hear that comment from Jeanette about using other tools. Guys, there are so many tools out there that you can engage with for success, okay? And finding groups and using something like Pinterest totally makes sense to find other challenges or exciting things that you like, okay? All right, now, we've got a question from Mary. So Mary says she has a question. She's got a swollen bottom part of the big toe and don't know if it's from walking or what it is, but there's no cuts or anything. What could be causing this? All right, so there are many potential causes, and our coach Laura just listed a few of them, but here's the thing. This is a classic example of you need to go see a podiatrist. Just like straight up. That is a classic example. You've identified this weird thing. Now make the appointment. And it could literally save your foot. All right? So I really want to encourage you guys, if you find something weird that's going on, don't delay when it comes to your feet. All right, we've got An oldie but a goodie joining us, Jerry Brown, checking in from Georgia. Jerry, it is great to have you here. Jerry has been with us, guys, in GlucoseZone from the start. It is great to have you in the Diabetes Talk tonight, okay? Now, tip number 4, take care of your smile, okay? Guys, your teeth and your feet, I know this sounds weird saying it out loud, your teeth and your feet are the #1 indicators of your diabetes health. You need to be seeing your dentist every 3 to 6 months at a minimum, okay? Because your teeth, right, and your gums, the health of your teeth and your gums directly are impacted by your diabetes or can actually impact your diabetes. Now, before Tiffany, who's joined us, it's good to have you here, okay? It's good to have you here, Tiffany, on Instagram. Before Tiffany calls me out on this, I'm going to put this one out here. Guys, I hated going to the dentist. Just straight up. I do not like the dentist. And I know many, many people are out there, they're in the same exact position, okay? What I want to encourage you is there are dentists who are excellent, who they understand your fear, they understand that this is not an enjoyable experience for you, and basically they're very, very professional. And I'm lucky, my dentist, who was recommended to me, okay, by Tiffany, and so Tiffany, it's good to have you here. Dr. Bell at the Connecticut Dental Center, excellent dentist who helped me with my teeth and my gums. Because your gum health is actually one of the most important indications of your whole mouth, and specifically related to diabetes, all right? So see your dentist, stop delaying and basically coming up with excuses for why you don't want to see your dentist is so important, guys. And I hear you and I feel you about how challenging it is to make that appointment with the dentist, because I hate the dentist. But the reality is, if you find a dentist who's a professional and knows what they're doing, you will be so happy that you went, because you're going to improve your smile, your whole mouth is going to feel better, and generally speaking, it's going to have a very positive impact on your diabetes. All right, tip number 5, hydration. There is a direct correlation between chronic elevated glucose levels and dehydration. So making sure that you're hydrating properly is one of the most important ways to outsmart diabetes. And basically what you want to do is you want to make it a habit of consuming water as soon as you wake up. That's like one of the easiest, most important things you can do. Before you have your coffee, before you have your green juice, okay? I like to do it after I brush my teeth. Sometimes I'll do it before I brush my teeth. But basically, first thing in the morning, have a big glass of water, okay? Now, Dottie, it was great to have you here. Dottie, good night, and we're going to see you in the next one. Now, here's the thing. If you don't like plain water, because I get that. For me personally, I do like plain water, okay? But if you don't like plain water, there are plenty of different hydration options. Seltzer is a good example. Another thing that you can do that's really actually delicious is take a bottle of water and put sliced cucumbers in it, or sliced orange, or sliced lemon, or strawberries, or whatever, and it gives, if you do it right, and I'm sure you've seen this, actually you see this a lot in hotels, a really beautiful, nice, full, big giant bottle of water that's filled with ice and like orange or strawberry or cucumbers is delicious. And if you don't like the flavor of just plain water, that's a great way to basically increase your hydration. All right? The other thing is drinking water at work is a great way to achieve intermittent fasting, okay? And what intermittent fasting means is basically extending the period of time in between meals. And intermittent fasting is one of the healthiest things that you can do, and water can really help you do that. All right? Now, Vara Daraj, I am glad that you are here tonight. Vara Daraj is nailing it right now with these tips, okay? And it's great to, guys, it's so fun to have people joining us in these talks. I want to encourage you. I want to hear from you what your tips are for outsmarting diabetes. All right, number 6, know your numbers. What this means, guys, is educate yourself. You have to know what the numbers mean when you go to the doctor and you get your report back. You have to know what a glucose level of 161 means. You have to know what a triglyceride level of 300 means, okay? Know the impact of the information. And there's only one person who can do that, guys. It's you. We are in the age of information. Google is basically one of the most incredible inventions ever in the history of the world. Google, if you don't know what something is, Google it, right? And you'll know within 5 minutes. It's really phenomenal. So utilize that resource, guys. Know your numbers. Understand what your target glucose levels are. Understand the impact of those target glucose levels. Understand the consequences of not hitting those numbers. Classic example. One of our fitness personalities who's coming on board with us, which I'm super excited about, is a nurse. And what she was explaining was the reality is that if you keep your A1C below 7, you basically dramatically reduce the risks of complications associated with diabetes. So that's a really, really important number to know, because especially like for somebody like me with type 1 diabetes, it can become very frustrating if you're stuck. Let's say your A1C is like at 6.6 right now, okay? You do need to understand that, yes, would I like to improve that number? The answer is yes. But the reality is, as long as it's below 7, I've more or less reduced the risk of complications like neuropathy, kidney disease, things like that. All right? So know your numbers, right? Checking your blood sugar frequently, and yes, having your A1C done quarterly, extremely important. All right? All right. Tip number 7. Get a yearly eye exam and monitor your eye health. Okay? So we talked about our feet, we talked about our teeth, now we're talking about our eyes. Okay? High blood sugar levels prevent the cells, okay, in the blood vessels of your eye from getting enough oxygen. That causes cell death and new blood vessel growth, okay? Limits new blood vessel growth, and that damages your vision, okay? And loss of vision can be a totally devastating impact of uncontrolled diabetes. It's so crucial to be having a yearly eye exam and being aware of exactly the impact, where you stand and what the impact of diabetes is on your eyes, okay? Keep your blood sugar levels in a healthy range as much as you can. Nobody is perfect. Everybody's going to have days where your numbers go outside of the range that you want. But those are the moments where you got to do what you can do, right? Be in control of what you can be in control of to get those numbers back to a place. And if you're doing what you need to do, and if you're in control of what you need to be in control of, and you're still not getting the results, that is now, guys, where you really need to talk to your healthcare provider, because that could mean that something is fundamentally wrong. You could fundamentally have an issue you're not aware of. You could fundamentally be taking a medication that is not actually addressing the cause of your elevated blood sugar levels. All right? So, those are the 7 tips, very, very practical tips for outsmarting your diabetes, right? Keep your heart strong. Engage in stress-reducing habits. Take care of your feet. Take care of your teeth and your smile. Hydrate properly and frequently. Know your numbers and take care of your eyes, guys. If you can have those 7 things in your consciousness when you are taking care of your diabetes, you are going to have a great, great chance of reducing the risks associated with diabetes complications and having success reducing, reversing, or controlling your diabetes. And on that note, guys, we are going to sign off for tonight. It was great to have you here. Instagram, it was great to have you here. Tiffany, Sue, Louise, I see you. Everybody on YouTube, okay? It was great to have you guys here. All right? And everybody that joined us on Facebook, I want to do a quick shout out. Jolynn, it was great to have you here on Facebook, okay? And Jolynn, thank you for answering. I'm sorry I didn't get to your question, okay? Lorraine, great to have you here on Facebook. Everybody who joined us, guys, okay? Thank you so much for contributing to this diabetes talk, and I can't wait to see you in the next GlucoseZone and Diabetes Talk episode. Great jobs.